Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I am so excited to be here with each and every one of you in this beautiful space. Thank you for joining me on my 40th birthday. It's so cool. Like I didn't even know when I received the guidance to do this that today was my birthday. It didn't click till afterwards and I was like, "Oh my gosh. This is absolutely beautiful. It's so just completely poetic. So thank you for being here with me to help me celebrate. I am honored, truly. Okay, so let me know who you are, where you're from. Say hello in the chat. Thank you. Kendra says happy birthday. Jody says
Hello, 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 hello.
thank you,
This
thank
is
you.
Sebastian. How?
Hello, Sebastian. Hello. Thank you, Ole Arvid. Thank you. Hi, Mark. Mark from Henderson, Nevada. Heather, thank you for the happy birthday. Encinitas, California, beautiful. Okay, this is so exciting. Jody is in Tulum, Mexico. Beautiful. Amanda is in Florida, and thank you for the happy birthday. Tiffany and Mexico City. Allison, thank you for the happy birthday. You're from Pennsylvania. Beth, thank you so much. Elena from Calgary. Tiffany, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! John, Northeast Ohio, thank you. Natalie, thank you. And Amber from Kent in England, Diana. Hello, that's okay if your camera's not working. Sarah, oh, I'm so excited to see you, Sarah. Okay, Sarah's done a lot. I mean, a lot of you guys have done so many things with me. I'm just so excited and honored to be in this space with each and every one of you today. Elena, thank you. Brian, thank you. Michelle in Denver Airport, I love it. Natalie from Devon in Southwest England. Ole is from Norway but is in Sweden with family. Amazing. Okay, so we are all over the world and we are coming together today to activate the next level of money for us. Thank you so much, Ashley. Okay, so today is all about the energetics of money. And it came through in such a way that I'm like, I didn't see this coming. I haven't heard this anywhere before. This is all brand new. So I'm like, this is big. This is exciting. When, for those of you who haven't been with me in a masterclass or one of my paid programs before, you know that I get the intuitive hit, the inner guidance to literally like say, hey, everybody, come gather here on this day and time, and you're going to call this thing this name. And I have no idea what's about to come through me. Not, I don't have a clue. And I'm like, okay, great, let's do that. And at first, that was really scary. You know, the first few times I was shaking in my boots. I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to pull this out and actually share something worth sharing? But the more I did it, the more comfortable that I got and the more that I began to trust that, yes, if I did this crazy thing and said, hello, I'm going to be here at this date and time, will you join me? That what was needed to come through for everyone's highest good that felt the intuitive hit themselves to join me would come through. And that knowing has just grown stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So thank you for feeling that hit and joining me today. I love it. This is going to be incredible. So I am really starting to understand that part of my purpose here is as a soul mission activator. So it goes beyond telling everyone we are all God. It goes beyond sharing light work. It includes showing you how to bring your dreams to life, bring your soul mission to life. Now, not every dream is part of your soul mission, but every dream is leading you towards your soul mission. Thank you so much, Veronica from Maryland. Thank you. So I hold a higher dimensional space and higher dimensional coding. This isn't an accident. I didn't wake up one day holding a higher dimensional space and higher dimensional coding. And it didn't happen 11 years ago when I started talking to I Am. I, at that time, was gifted with an experience that we probably all have been gifted with at one time or another, when it was literally magic and we had our spiritual awakening, right? And everything was in the flow, and maybe it lasted a few days, maybe it lasted a few weeks, maybe it lasted a few months. But you could feel a deep connection to the universe, and you knew there was more, and you were at peace. Most of you will have had an experience like that, which led you then to keep seeking for, how do I experience more of that, right? Let me know if you have had an experience like that. Let me know in the chat. Say, yes, I did. No, I didn't. But I would bet that most of you did. And then what happened was it stopped, it shut off. And you were left out in the cold wondering, what did I do wrong? Why did it stop? And then begins the journey to finding your soul mission, finding who you really are and what you're doing here on the planet. 100%. Yes, I wanted to come back. Yes, and I would like to feel like that all the time. Yes, yes. I've had fleeting moments like this, but never a whole day long. Yes, I have. Okay, I love it all. And yes, no matter if it's moments, day, whatever it is, it counts. I feel it more often now. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, I love hearing it. Thank you so much for sharing. So what's going on is, when this initial experience happens, and for me, this is exactly what happened, I believed it would last forever. And when it stopped, I thought to myself, oh no, I must have messed up. I must be doing something wrong. How can I fix the part of me that's doing something wrong so that I can get back to having that beautiful experience all the time? And I went on a very long journey, and it took me years and years and years and years to receive the guidance through that answered the question. And the answer is, this is happening not because we do anything wrong, but because the universe is gifting us with a higher dimensional space for this moment in time to show us what is possible for us on Earth. Okay? And it's not taken away to punish us, or because we were bad, or because we did anything wrong. It is a gift that lasts this specific amount of time, and it's different for everyone. And then because the gift goes away, we want it so badly that we begin to go on our life mission, our soul mission, what our soul came here to do, to find our way back home to that feeling of connectedness and unity consciousness. And this is what we're really here to do. That gift wakes us up, but our soul mission is what we are here to do. So I have been on my soul mission for 11 years now. And about 4 years ago, I decided to, beautiful Diane, I'm so glad that resonates. I decided to actually go for it, stop searching, and decide I'm enough as I am right now. And I'm ready to do this thing. Did I feel ready? No. But I decided I'm going to stop searching, and I'm going to start choosing that whatever it is that I'm here to do, I'm good enough right now to start. And through the process of starting, I will become more of whatever it is that I'm here to do. So through that process, I have invested in myself over and over and over again. I think that I'm over $200,000 in investments in courses and programs and mentors. And I started, 6, 7 years ago. Phil and I were living in my parents' spare bedroom, the bedroom that I lived in as a little girl. And we had a $200 a month budget between the two of us to buy food, to buy all the things that we need. Okay. This was 6 or 7 years ago. So it's not like I was just like, oh, I'm just going to go invest a bunch of money and learn everything. It was a journey starting from basically nothing and trusting little incremental steps along the way, following my guidance. But that has led me to a place after years now of following my guidance, continuing to trust all the intuitive nudges and hits that I receive and just taking action, even though on paper it probably doesn't make any sense at all to be taking the actions I'm taking. Actually, I know that it doesn't make any sense at all on paper, but I keep taking them anyway, and they keep working out in amazing ways that I never would have imagined. So I am at the place now where I have up-leveled myself so much that I can literally say that I'm holding a higher dimensional space. And that simply being in my energy begins to raise you up to that level. It's very much like that idea from, I can't think of what the book is, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, which I've never read, but I've heard this habit over and over and over again, that if you want to be wealthy, surround yourself with wealthy people. And yes, that book was all about the mindset behind it, right? You're getting then the mindset and the thoughts of people who are wealthy. But the truth of the matter is, you're also calibrating to their higher energy. And when someone's holding a higher energy frequency and you choose to come into their orbit, that's a decision, because I'll tell you the truth of the matter is, now that I'm holding this higher frequency, I am more a beacon of light here on earth than I ever have been. And at the same time, that light is repelling more people than I have ever repelled, because they are choosing the decision when they hear what I say to say, no, slam the door on that. I don't want this. That's too triggering. It's too much, too fast. And they run in the other direction. And that's okay. That's part of their path. So kudos to each and every one of you for trusting the intuitive nudge and hit to be here. Okay. Because that means you're making the decision that maybe I will trigger you a little bit, but the truth of the matter is, if we can trust ourselves to be triggered and lead ourselves through that trigger, we come out on the other end with a huge up level. Every time we trust where the universe is leading us, even if it's uncomfortable, uncomfortable always leads to growth, always. So when you are in my energy now more than ever, since I just went through this huge energetic upgrade about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, you are calibrating higher. And I see it in my own house. Phil has been calibrating to me. He can't help it. His energy is rising up because I'm not coming down to meet him. He has to come up to meet me, or he has to leave. That's how energy works. We can't be around people that hold higher energy and not rise up to their level. We literally cannot. But at the same time, we can choose to walk away from those people because it hurts too much that we aren't there yet. Now, that happened to me for years. It hurt too much that I was not where I wanted to be in life. And so all the people who were, that really, really hurt me. Not just like hurt a little, it hurt me so deeply, it was like a wound in my heart, because I was here to do something. And finally, I chose, all right, I'm going to do what I can to be in the energy of the people who are doing things like I want to do. We always have the choice, always. All the all the people in the world that are holding these higher energy frequencies offer opportunities for people to be in their energy. Whether those are paid opportunities, they're always offering free opportunities too. Okay, so if that's where you are, take advantage of those. So you're doing that today, that's amazing. Read the books by the people that are holding these higher frequencies. I know you guys are all doing that. But when you're doing it, and right now, at the beginning of this masterclass, I want you to set the intention that you're going to begin to calibrate to this higher frequency simply by being here. That's a choice too. We get to set the intention and say, it's my intention by being in this space for about an hour today with Erin that I'm going to begin to calibrate to the higher dimensional frequency that this space is being held in. Okay? Because everything is intention, everything is thoughts, and the thoughts made with intention are the ones that begin to create our world. So we don't want to just read the book, or just show up for the free masterclass, or just show up for the paid classes and just be there. We want to set a very firm intention that we are calibrating to the higher dimensional energy available to us, okay? So when I woke up today, I knew that I was doing a masterclass called Money Energetics. That's it. And I thought I had my alarm set for 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock here for me now. So that's what I normally do for my classes. I set my alarm 3 hours early, and then I just, write down everything that wants to come through after setting my intention the previous night that everything's going to come through for your highest good. But I woke up at 5 a.m. Okay. I woke up at 5 a.m. and it was just flying out of me. So I had to get up and just start writing. Just write and write and write and write and write. I was able to go back to bed at about 7. And then I woke up at 9:40 and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. 9:40 because it's my 40th birthday. So I love numbers. I love seeing numbers, synchronicities. So I was like, it's so beautiful. But anyway, money code number 1 dropped in. And I was like, well, I didn't know we were going to do more. I didn't know there was more than one. So those are coming in the future. So that's going to happen when it happens in divine timing. But this is the first money code. Now, a lot of you will, oh my gosh, you just got the book yesterday. That's divine timing, Kendra. That must be the 7 habits. That's so cool. So a lot of you are going to have already read books around money, taken courses around money manifestation, right? You will have done research into your money blocks and how to remove them. I love it. I've done all these things too. That's not what today's about. Today is about this really cool thing that just came through me. And the interesting thing is it just came through me because I'm actually already doing it. And that's why it was able to come through me. So because I am embodying it, it came through so smooth, so easy, just absolutely beautifully. So exciting. So there are an infinite number of ways to create wealth because we live in a limitless universe, okay? But I am not a wealth guide. I'm a soul mission guide, help you bring your soul mission to life. But what I really am is a spiritual and an energy guide. Okay? So I'm going to share with you the path to creating wealth that brings you inner peace. Because without inner peace, it's just money. True wealth is abundance flowing to you and through you from the universe. Now, does that resonate with you? There are so many people out there making lots of money, myself included. But so many of these people are doing it from a place of, I'm afraid the money's going to stop coming. I'm afraid I'm going to do something and the money's going to go away. I'm afraid I'm going to make the wrong decision and the money's going to go away. And there are multimillionaires, billionaires that lose everything. And that makes the rest of us think, well, if they're going to do it, I could lose it. And then there's those of us, I know for years I was so afraid that Phil would lose his job, right? I was creating it. So there's all these undercurrents going on. But the truth of the matter, and what's interesting is I asked in a Facebook forum years ago when I was just starting my business journey, and it was a Facebook forum for people that were making multiple six figures a year. And I asked, well, now that you're making a lot of money, what's the thing that keeps you awake at night? What is your biggest worry in life? And there were over 300 answers. And I kid you not, it was divided 50-50 between the two answers. On the one side, it was, I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything that I've built or created. On the other side, it was, I want inner peace. And I thought, oh my gosh, this breaks my heart. I don't want to create a life for me where those are my two worries, right? Because what's the point? Yes, money solves a lot of problems. I'm not going to say it doesn't, it does. And if we are feeling the desire and pull towards money, that's safe. That's okay. That's guidance. Our desires are divine. One of my favorite money teachers, Amanda Francis, says our desires are divine, and that is something that has stuck with me so strongly. It is safe for us to want the things that are coming to us in our head. There's nothing wrong with that. That's leading us on our soul mission, 1000%. So, what our class today is all about is that wealth is balance. I want you to start thinking about that. Now, money doesn't have to be balanced. Money can be very unbalanced. But true wealth, the abundance that flows to you and through you from the universe, that is a divine balance. That's what today's about. Now, you're probably going to say, Erin, it's totally unbalanced. Look at the people with all the money on one side, ridiculous, obscene amounts of money, right? And then look on the other side of the people with no money at all. There's no balance in this world around money. And I get that perspective. That used to be my perspective. But here's the truth about wealth. And it's the same truth that is true about our world and about who we are. Wealth is an internal balance. Wealth is an internal balance. So if you're looking at the world and you're seeing all these people have so much, all these people have so little, that is a reflection of what you're feeling inside. You're feeling unbalanced because you are. Now, there's no shame in this. I was unbalanced almost my entire life. But I also chose to put myself around the people that seemed to be in incredible balance. And I wondered, I'll tell you guys the truth, I wondered a lot of the time when I was paying them for their teachings and investing and being in their energy, I wondered if they were full of it. I did. I wondered if they were full of it. Have you ever felt that way? I bet you have. I bet you have. I bet you wondered because I did. Are they faking it? Are they pretending to be in balance? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I wondered that. But now, having achieved a level of balance, which is not perfect, but it's a level that I didn't truly know was possible. I'm not fully in balance yet. but I've achieved a level over the last 2 weeks where I feel and know that it's possible to go higher, and that these people that I still admire and are still higher up than me, I'm like, oh yeah, they're actually really, really doing this. This is actually real. They actually are in balance, and that's why they're up there. That's why they're making the money they are. It's very clear to me now, having gone through this energetic upgrade. It's completely they're there because they're balanced, and that's the only reason they're there. So when we can balance internally, the money flows. And we're going to talk about this. I want you to understand it, because this is essentially like a huge key to the kingdom of you, of who you are, of the world that you live in. So it's not about working harder. And I knew this, but I still tried to work harder. I did. Because that felt like, it felt good. It felt like I was accomplishing something. But the truth of the matter was, all I was doing was burning myself out. Now, I had half of the piece. I was doing my soul mission. I was going after the things. I was channeling through what wanted to come through. But on the other side of the equation, I was not taking care of me. So for those of you, so I was giving, even though I thought I had healed that need to people please and to give. It was a new layer coming up. So for those of you who have read my book, and if you haven't read One Truth, One Law, buy it after we're done today. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. You might remember that there are 2 things that we are alive to do in general. If you know what they are, put them in the chat. And if not, reread the book. So this book really does have the keys to the kingdom in it. It's one of those books where we just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the layers every time we read. And I can tell you that from the experience of having reread it 100 times plus. I keep going deeper every time I read it. So all right, great books here to create. So, okay, to pursue our blueprint and create. Okay. All right. So, absolutely. Number 1 is create. Part of this is our blueprint, but our blueprint isn't one of the 2 big things. So, here to be I am and create. Yeah, that's essentially it. So, the here to be I am part is experiencing. Okay. So experiencing is very much about being in the moment, being in the now. And creation is all about creating. Now, so much of us are unbalanced here. If we can balance these 2 things, wealth flows to us. Okay. This is what today is all about. It's big, it's major. Most of us are in creator mode all the time, or we're in receiver mode all the time. And there's a lot of conflicting information out there from wonderful spiritual teachers. I'm going to say one book that I think has, while it has expanded humanity, and I love it and it's amazing, it also contributes to this imbalance, The Power of Now. We want to be in the now, experiencing every moment of the day, right? The more we do that, the more we feel the inner peace. The truth of the matter is, while there are times for that, if we're not balancing it with creating, that inner peace is going to be short-lived, because we aren't here just to experience. None of us is. And at the same time, we're not here just to create. So every person that has created wealth has done it by creating pathways for that wealth to come to them. easily without them having to do anything. So while they're asleep, money is coming to them. While I was sleeping last night, I made $1,000. I woke up and there's $1,000. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Because I have chosen to create pathways where money comes to me without me trading time for money. Okay? Now, most of us are very much programmed to trade time for money in terms of jobs. Now, you can do everything that I'm talking about here today while having a job. You don't have to become an entrepreneur to do this. There are ways to create pathways for money to come to you, limitless ways. I'll give you a few of the ideas, but it's limitless. I couldn't possibly create every idea around how you can create pathways for money to come to you, because I'm not here to create every idea in the universe. That's what we're all here to co-create together. But most of us are programmed to work harder when we want more money. Harder, 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 harder. But when we do this, we get burned out. And that doesn't feel very peaceful, does it? Feels pretty miserable. Like incredibly miserable. And we wonder, why isn't this working? For a lot of us, we're doing something that when we started doing it, we really enjoyed. Whether it's a job or our own business or whatever, we loved it. But then when we tried to work harder to make more money, we started feeling resentment, bitterness. And it's just like the opposite of feeling flowy and good, right? So the trick is to balance the creation mode with the receiver mode. This is the trick. This is it. And it's actually going to be easier than you realize right now. Most people are never in creation mode around money, and some of you might be, so we're going to talk about it both ways. Most people are only in receiver mode, okay? Because when they are trying so hard to manifest money, they're doing it purely from receiver mode. Please, universe, I'm going to visualize money coming to me, and you're going to send it to me. I'm going to get a check in the mail. Somebody's going to walk up to me on the street and hand me $10,000. I trust that you're going to bring me money, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, right? This was the beginning of my journey. And I'll tell you what, guys, I was like amazing. Back in 2011, when I started my creation manifestation journey and the whole thing, I was so good at pulling up to that prime spot at Walmart every single time. My parking spot manifestation game was like on point. I was so freaking good at it. So I knew like, I knew I'm a badass manifester. I knew it. I could tell. Holy cow, I'm so good at this. But when I was trying to create the money so that Phil and I wouldn't get evicted from our oceanfront apartment that we couldn't afford, well, it was not showing up. And I'm like, what? This isn't fair. I'm so good at this. Clearly, I'm amazing at this. Like, parking, I'm so good at this. Parking spot every time. I'm amazing. Come on, universe, get with me here. So what I didn't recognize at the time was that I was getting guidance to put I am's words out into the world. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Everyone's going to think that's crazy. Nobody wants to see that. I was getting the guidance, but I did not recognize it as guidance, or that it was my job to follow those intuitive hits. I did not know that. That was not part of something that I understood from, watching The Secret. They didn't tell me that part. I don't know if that's, I did not get it. And I watched it numerous times, right? And so how I actually started communicating with I am was I wanted to know the secret as to why the law of attraction wasn't working to bring me money. That's why I started this whole journey because I wanted to know why that wasn't working to bring me money. And what I found was it's not attracting something outside of you, it's creating it within you. But then it still took me years to figure out what the heck does that mean and how do I do it? And now I know it's this balance business. Sounds kind of boring, right? Balance. But it actually is like inner peace on steroids, is what this balance is. And when you're in that state of being an inner peace on steroids, this pure flow state, the money comes to you. What's interesting now is when I'm doing the things that make me feel embodied and most at peace, that's when I'm getting the pings that I have money coming to me. And when I'm doing the creation things, not so much. It's really when I'm embodying that it's safe for me to not worry about anything right now and simply enjoy this beautiful activity and feel gratitude that I'm here on earth to experience this beautiful activity. Ping, 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 money. But that's because I created the paths for the money to come easily. Without those paths created, I'm here enjoying my inner peace in the now moment, but I keep getting jostled out of that now moment because I didn't make any paths through creation for the money to come to me. And so now, after being in that now moment for an hour, I'm kind of worried, well, what this feels great, but where's the money coming from? It's all about balancing the two. Yeah, so Marcin, we are going to talk about the paths, okay? So let me see where I wrote that down. So I think what usually happens is half of it comes out of me without me needing the notes. Then I have to find where I am. Okay. So we can achieve inner peace in a job working for someone else if that job allows us to create and share with the world our creations. So there are people doing that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to bring you extreme wealth. That freedom feeling of, I don't have to worry about showing up at a certain hour and time for money to come to me. I've created pathways where the money just comes when I am being fully me, and fully me is happy in the now moment, enjoying the world that has been created for me to experience in. So freedom. Higher dimensional frequencies are very, very high on freedom frequency. On not being tied to, I have to do this thing to get the things that I need to survive. Freedom is just simply knowing that things are here and the universe is going to bring it to you. So the two easiest ways to create pathways to you for money to flow from the universe is number one, investing is either time, money, energy, or a combination of the three. Okay. So investing time, money, or energy, or a combination of the three in the thing that you want to create because you feel called to create it and bring it forth for other people. And the second way is to invest time, money, or energy in other people's creations. That's like stock market, Bitcoin, stuff like that, angel investing, saying, hey, to a friend who you know is starting up a company, hey, if I give you 10 hours a week, will you give me 10% of this company? Right? So there's different pathways. It doesn't have to be a financial investment. You can get creative. Now, the trick about it is you should not be picking whatever feels easiest. Well, I think that I have an extra $100 I could invest in Bitcoin, so that's what I'm going to do. It's not about picking whatever makes the most sense. Well, I know somebody who knows somebody who's telling me this is the new hot tip. I'm going to do this. It's about putting yourself in receiver mode in the now moment, walking barefoot in the grass, going on a nature walk, having a bath, all the things that bring you back to you. Because when we are in creation mode, I need to make money, I need to make money, I need to figure out how to make money, we are not receiving. We are all of the chatter, our persona, our ego is so forward that we are all of the chatter. Receiver mode, we are just lean back, relaxed, enjoying what's going on around us, just being, just being. And when we just be, we will get the intuitive hits on what to create, what to invest time, money, or energy in. And then here's the kicker though, guys. You actually have to follow the intuitive hits. That's how you create wealth. If you look at anybody who's wealthy, even if they're not spiritual, especially if they're not spiritual, and you read their book about how I created $1 billion or how I make $100 million a year, they say, oh, well, yeah, I just hear in my head what to do, or I just have this feeling, this gut feeling. I had this gut feeling 20 years ago and I followed it. Every single person that has created wealth talks about this. Every single one. So they aren't just getting lucky and following the step-by-step path that's been laid out by people before them. They're doing the crazy thing that doesn't make any sense and following the intuitive hits. Now, I know the trickiest part about intuitive hits is recognizing them as intuitive hits and trusting them and actually taking them. That's the hardest part. I know, because we want to argue with them. We want to tell our intuitive hits, hey, that sounds great, but these are the reasons I can't do that right now. I love the idea. And if that worked out, that would be miraculous. But there's quite a few reasons why that's not going to work here. Come on. Give me something realistic that I can do. And I trust. I feel alignment with this. Give me something, though, that I can do. And I'm on board. I promise. But redo. New guidance, please. New guidance coming through. I'm listening. I'm ready. I'll do the new thing, not this thing. The new thing. So that's what we're often doing. I did this for years, but the cool thing is that even if you've done this your entire life, like I had, pushed the guidance away, said, oh, well, I'm not quite, no, I'm waiting for the easier thing. Everybody says this is supposed to be easy, so I'll just wait for the easy part. Even if you've been pushing away the guidance and the intuitive hits, because often the reason, and it certainly was for me, I just knew everybody would think I was crazy if I did this thing. And I bet a lot of you resonate with that. Are there people in your life that even if you're already doing the thing, especially if you're already doing the thing and you have established yourself as somebody who does the crazy thing, if your guidance is to do something even weirder, even crazier, that's when you say, okay, well, hey, I've been with you for the last few years. I've been with you. I've done these things. Do not ask this of me. I'm cool here. It just means we've reached a new level of comfort. Just like we used to be comfortable over there, we're now comfortable here. And the fact of the matter is we want to be doing something that scares us a little bit most days. And that's how we continue to grow and continue to up-level ourselves. So we're not picking our intuitive hits ourselves. We are choosing to receive them. And if we want to generate wealth, because listen, there's people that make a lot of money in the stock market, a lot of money in cryptocurrency. And there's also people that lose their shirt, that lose every penny. People that are making a lot of money, they try to make it make sense. They try to say, I'm following these set out established methods so that people don't think they're crazy. But the truth of the matter is they're following their intuitive hits. And everybody else then is trying to learn these methods that they're saying, well, this is sort of what I did. And they're trying to map out the step-by-step method of all the intuitive hits they took along the way. And you're following it and it's not working at all. And you're like, but I'm following it step by step. But they just mapped out their intuitive hits. So let me know if that's resonating at all. Have you ever followed a step-by-step method from somebody who promised you it would work, but it didn't? Didn't work at all? Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Me too. Absolutely, I have done that. So, wealth is about the move from me to we. From gimme, gimme, gimme to unity conscious, I'm here to create something that gives back to the world. But we can't do this from a place of only giving. It has to happen with that balance where we're also receiving, which means experiencing. I'm not talking about receiving money, although that's part of the receiver mode. To get into receiver mode, it can't be give me money. It has to be, I'm going to find peace in this now moment. Maybe it's meditating, right? Maybe it's walking. Maybe it's the bath. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it is laying in bed and just feeling how good it feels to lay down with a pillow under your head and sinking into that feeling. Maybe it's dancing to music that makes you feel amazing. But it's not about the things that light me up. It's about discovering the things that light you up. And that's important because there's 1,001 and 1,000,001 books out there from beautiful spiritual people that are holding higher dimensional spaces that tell you to follow their step-by-step method to generate these higher dimensional spaces for yourself, right? Meditate, I'll show you how, and then you'll feel this amazing feeling because that's what worked for me. Walk barefoot in the grass, I'll show you how, and then you'll feel this higher dimensional feeling because that's what worked for me. But the trick is not what works for everybody else. The trick is, what are you here to embody? What's going to give you that feeling? And the thing is, if you're doing this thing, walking barefoot in the grass, because so-and-so said this gives you this higher dimensional space, and you're doing your best to tune into the feel of the grass under your feet, the fact that you are walking on the soil of our earth, the birds are chirping, you are feeling into the now moment, and you're just kind of like, okay. Then maybe that's not your embodiment. And it's safe to trust that. It's safe to say, okay, well then what would I do if I'm going to do something to connect in? Would I rather have a bath during this time? Do I want to learn to meditate because I've just always wanted to do that? Do I want to learn light work, energy healing because I've always wanted to do that? What have you always said that if you won the lottery, you would do with your time? Right? When you didn't have to worry about where's the money coming from, which freed up like literally 12 hours in your day. When you didn't have that worry anymore because you won the lottery, what are those things you're doing during the day? And start doing one or two of those things. I recommend two, but that's my step-by-step method. So you don't have to do that. You get to do exactly what you choose to do. The point is to hold space every day for the higher dimensional version of you to come through. Okay. Now, this does not have to be like 4 hours at all. Like, no, I do not have 4 hours. I have little children. But I can get 20 minutes. I can get 20 minutes, and 20 minutes is enough. And when I can take 40, I take 40. Okay? Sometimes it's 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here. And when I take that time, the money's pinging in, ping, 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 ping. All comes in that little block. of me fully being in the now moment, fully in the receiver moment. Also, people will talk about a lot about money coming in while they sleep. That happens for me too, because I've turned off, I'm fully relaxed. But the more we can do this as a conscious choice, the stronger it becomes. Now, when we are in the beginning of our manifestation money journey, money manifestation journey, we want the universe to give us stuff, right? But when we are a little bit more, okay, maybe that's not what this is all about. Maybe you've manifested a little bit of money. Maybe you got that $5,000 check, and you thought it was going to like bring this flood of, holy cow, I did this. But what it probably did was brought this sense of dread of, oh my gosh, why didn't I ask for 10? Oh my gosh, yeah, this is great right now, but what about next month, right? So after we've moved through that early manifestation journey stuff, we come to realize that that money itself wasn't bringing us the feelings we thought it would bring us. And what it's about actually is this balance where we are giving something to the universe through our creations. And again, it doesn't have to be our individual creations. It could be investing time, money, or energy in someone else's creation. Although my deep knowing is that we all are here to create something and bring something forward, every single one of us. But it doesn't have to be that way. We are creators. We get to choose the paths we're going to open up. So the more peace and fulfillment will come when we choose the paths based on our intuitive hits. Because you can make the money come by opening up a pathway that's not based on an intuitive hit. And then adding in relaxing to receive, being in the now moment. But that inner peace is going to be fully activated and turned on when the thing you're creating is based on your intuitive hits, which means it's based on your soul mission. It's based on what you're actually here to do. So there's other stuff going on. We have energetic blockages and we have mental blockages from this lifetime and other lifetimes, past lifetimes. That's all going on too. Yes, and I assume that's coming through in future money codes, which I will let you know the date and time when those want to come through. I'll be so excited to share that with you guys. But the truth of the matter is, money is energy. It's not actually real. Money isn't real. Money is not, it's not real. It's a concept, it's an idea. Yes, you can touch paper. Yes, you can touch coins. Yes, you can hold your plastic card. Yes, you can see the ones and zeros on your bank account. Yes, these things are physically tangible, but the physical world isn't real. It's all an illusion, and money is part of the illusion. And for most of us, it's keeping us trapped in lower dimensional, dense energy spaces that feel hard and miserable. Most money has never been printed on paper or minted into coins. Most of it does not exist except as an idea, a concept in computers. And it's moving around so fast every single day that nobody's really holding it except the people without a lot of it. I want you to just feel into what I just said for a minute. When you get money, is it a thank you, thank you, thank you? Or is it a, oh, thank goodness, I need more? At the top of the money totem pole here on Earth, there are people that don't care at all how much is in their bank, how much is in their investment. They do not care because they know it's energy, they know it's moving, and they know it's always going to come back to them. And it's moving so fast, they don't see it, they're not trying to hold it because it's always there for them. It's something that they can rely on reliably without any fear or doubt attached to it. But for everybody under that, it feels like, okay, I got it, I got to hold it now. It's not safe to move it out. Okay, I can move out some of it, yeah, but I'm going to keep quite a bit of it too, because that feels safer. That feels more secure. And all that is that's what I'm talking about, these money energetic blocks and also thought blocks, that we are not safe here in the physical world and that we have to take care of ourselves instead of trusting the universe to provide for us. It's very much a feeling of, if I release all this money, I'm screwed. There's nobody that's going to come and save me, right? I'm on my own. And so we always keep, if we're able to, enough so that we feel like, well, at least if everything else is gone, I will have this $10 in my wallet and I can buy food that day and I can figure out the next day then, right? But it's that belief that we need, and the word here is need, to keep some, that is pushing it away. We are literally pushing it away by saying it's not safe for us to exist in a physical world where we do not have that safety chunk of money. All the programming for most people on earth is so backwards and so non-spiritual and so coming from lack instead of abundance. And we are in this huge transition in the world right now where we are literally creating a new earth. All of this garbage has been brought up from the surface of the earth. All of this stuff that's been buried for thousands of years, all this darkness has been brought up, and it's clearing right now over the last few years, and it's continuing to accelerate and clear faster and faster. But all we're seeing is more and more guck, more and more darkness. But the fact of the matter is we are transitioning to a new earth. And in this new earth, it's safe to talk about humans are born to be abundant. Abundance is our natural state. We just all have these lead weights placed all over our energy field, our physical body, and our mind, telling us, keeping us down, telling us, remember, lack, remember, it's not safe. You're not safe. You aren't safe. And we get to choose now. Do we lift that off and start trusting that the universe will provide for us? Because no matter where you are, no matter if you make $5,000 a year or if you make $100 million a year, it's all about recognizing that it's safe to trust your intuitive nudges and that it's safe to trust the universe to bring you what you need when you need it. But when you need something, you're saying, I need this because I don't trust. I do not trust you. So the more that you can spend time in receiver mode, communing with the universe, the more you take on that aspect of you, the more you begin to see the bounty the universe has created all around us. The truth of the matter is, like, guys, the trees grow every year. The grass grows. The squirrels find food. The bears find food. Everything's running on autopilot on Earth in an abundant manner. Everything is. The truth of the matter is there's enough oil, and oil is a resource that recreates itself, that we're never going to run out of oil. Never. We live in an abundant earth, but what's our perspective on that? What are we seeing, what we've been taught, or are we seeing what's really there? So the more time we spend embodying nature, the more we begin to take on the energetic coding of nature. And the energetic coding of nature is our truth as humans. We are abundant. Nature is abundant. My goodness, is it abundant? It's always growing. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do anything and it's going to grow. If I don't cut my grass, pretty soon it's going to be to my knees. Nature is abundant. All the animals are perfectly abundant in nature, right? Now, there's plenty of animals that are homeless and whatnot because they are not in a natural environment. That's not what we're talking about. But it is a good example to see humans not in a natural environment. A lot of us are struggling too. Okay. So the more that we can put ourselves into nature and receive its energetic coding of abundance, the more we become that, the more we begin to trust that nature is going to provide for us. That's what this is about. It's about deepening your trust in the universe. The universe has your back, just like Gabby Bernstein says. There's another book I haven't read, but I love the title. The universe has your back. Okay? And the more that you can put yourself into the situations where you remember that, you remember the beauty of nature, the more you're going to code yourself to that. So my question to you is, are you balanced? Are you in creation mode sometimes, creating pathways for energy and money to flow towards you? And are you in receiver mode sometimes as well, creating pathways of joy or guidance to drop in? Or is most of your time spent worrying and blocking out the worrying, right? Watching TV, playing games, whatever, blocking out the worrying. Because the coding of nature is free. Like, we can all do that. We can all choose to go for a walk every day and choose that as we're walking, it's our intention that we're going to begin to receive the abundant coding of nature. We all have access to that. Even if you live in a really crowded city, there's going to be parks. And there's going to be people that are going to say, but Erin, well, I don't have time for that. You can do 5 minutes, right? You can. You can. We all can. And if you start with 5, maybe eventually you'll be able to grow it to 10. But the truth of the matter is, not all of us are going to walk our soul mission in this lifetime. And the further truth of the matter is, it's a decision to walk our soul mission. It's a decision. Nobody can make it but you. And I can tell you from experience, it's the hardest decision I ever made in my entire life. I will never make a more difficult decision than I made to follow my first intuitive hit, which was to publish my book. It's the most horrible, heart-wrenching, difficult decision I ever made. But it's also been the most rewarding decision that I've ever made, by and large. And I can also tell you that I thought that when I published it, I was going to be a month later relaxing on the beach with a Mai Tai and totally rich and blissed out for the rest of my life and never having to create anything again. Because I did my thing, right? I'm done. But truth about that is, I found out that once we're willing to do our soul mission, the universe starts to use us more and more to get the message out to other souls. And that's going to look different for all of us. Not everyone's going to do what I do. But that's what happens. The universe is like, oh my gosh, here's a soul who's willing finally to follow their guidance. This is incredible. Let's use him or her to keep this going. This universe is expanding rapidly because some of us are choosing the harder decision, the decision that comes from deep within us, that eventually we just can't help but take, because to keep living the other way is too miserable, right? So what I want to say to you is this: just like there's balance individually within us, half of humanity is motivated by money and half of humanity isn't. This is part of the blueprint of humanity. Okay. So if you're on this call with me, most likely because I called the course Money Energetics, if you showed up to Money Energetics today, most likely you are money motivated. Now, this is not bad or wrong, even though that we are taught and programmed very deeply that people that desire money are bad and wrong, that we should only want the inner peace, right? The money is bad, the money is evil, the money is root of all evil, money, blah, 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 all this deep programming around money. Okay, we all have these gorgeous individual blueprints that we're here to fulfill. Again, half of us are not money motivated, and they're the ones that are creating all the programming around money being evil, because to them, they simply aren't motivated by money. And so that's just how it is. But for the other half of us, I'm very money motivated. I love luxury things. I love nice things. Even before I could afford them, I was like, oh, I wish I could afford them. I used to dream about winning the lottery before I was doing my soul mission, because I wanted nice things and I didn't want to have to worry about money anymore. The people that find the inner peace without money are people that are not, they're the half of humanity that's not money motivated. And they're confusing the other half of humanity that is money motivated. We're saying, how did they get that inner peace? How are they not worried about money all the time? Worried about money all the time because money is part of the coding to our blueprint, and unlocking the fact that it's safe to believe the universe is going to bring it to us is what's going to lead us on our soul mission. So if you want nice things, if you dream about winning the lottery, you are money motivated, and you are not bad or wrong. You are just not in that half of humanity whose blueprint contains inner peace without money. That's not wrong. It's not bad. But there's a lot of messaging out there that might make you think that it is. I certainly was caught in that for a long time. I desired to win the lottery. But the truth of the matter is, when I had my daydreams about winning the lottery, I was not dreaming about all of the things I would buy for myself. It was, okay, well, I'm gonna win $100 million, and I am going to give my parents 10 million, and I'm going to give my brother 8 million, and I'm going to give each of my cousins 2 million, and each of my aunts 2 million. And then by the time I was done giving it all away, because I felt like there was, even though I hadn't actually won the lottery, this is like my daydream, right? I was giving it all away because I didn't feel worthy of receiving. It was such a deep money block coming through in my fantasy about winning the lottery. So if you're fantasizing about winning the lottery, it's because you're money motivated. That's part of your blueprint. Not bad, not wrong. But if you're also fantasizing about giving it all away, it's because there's some healing work to do there. Okay? It doesn't feel safe for you to receive as you are. You feel like as soon as you receive, you must give away. So there's some work to do there. So then the truth about people with tons of wealth is they tend to give a lot to charity. But we as people without tons of wealth tend to not look at that. We're like, oh yeah, but they have so much, why don't they just give more and more and more? They're not giving enough. If it was me, I would give like 95% of it, right? I'm that awesome. I would give it all away because it's not safe for me to receive gifts from the universe. So people with a lot of money also tend to spend a lot of money on self-care, on luxury, on vacations, on cars, on homes. And that's what we see. And that's what we focus on. And we say, oh, aren't they selfish? They're in receiver mode. They're in creator mode and receiver mode. They're balanced. Now, it's interesting that second and third generation children of people who have created immense wealth often lose it all, tank the companies. They're just in receiver mode. They've been receiving money their whole life, but they're not creating what they're here to create. So you see that all the time. All the major companies, you see that. And you say to yourself often, the founder would be turning over in his grave. right? Like what's going on with Disney right now, or how Walmart is being run compared to how Sam Walton started it, as a company that took care of his employees just as much as his customers. And now they're bleeding everybody. The employees aren't taken care of at all. So things like that is what I mean. The second and third generation, they tend to just try to bleed the company for everything it's worth instead of saying, hey, I'm a creator. What can I do to make this a more magical experience for everybody involved, right? Because they only know receiver mode. So the game of life is not about control. Like that's hard. It's hard. The game of life is not about holding on tight to whatever we've got, because if we don't hold on tight, it's all going to fall apart. Game of life is recognizing, oh crap, I've been holding on tight my whole life. Oops, I see that now. I've been afraid that if I trust the universe will not catch me. I have been very afraid of this, yes. Before my huge energetic upgrade a few weeks ago, I was making a very, very difficult decision. It felt difficult at the time. And I was asking I am in the shower. I said, I am. I'm afraid if I make this decision and follow my guidance, that you're going to let me down. And I am said to me, well, I'm never going to let you down. Are you going to let yourself up? And it was like, oh my gosh, it's been me clutching that lead weight to my chest, keeping me down out of fear of following the intuitive hits. Even though I've been doing all kinds of intuitive hits, I've also been choosing to not do some of them. And so I made the decision. I removed the lead weight from my chest. I made the crazy decision that didn't make any sense at all, that scared the crap out of me. And I got this amazing energetic upgrade of being able to hold so much more space, to being able to do this call with you today, where I talk about these things that are absolutely incredible and are life-changing if you take them on. If you take them on, you're going to change everything. But I also was granted this higher dimensional space because I'm someone that's sharing. I'm sharing what wants to come through me. So I'm incredibly useful to the universe. I'm contributing to the universe, continuing to expand every day. I'm contributing by doing this, by holding the space to each one of you, potentially making the decision to go deeper into your soul mission, to start your soul mission, to make the scary decisions that don't make any sense. Because I'm holding that space of, hey, I did it, things didn't fall apart, they actually got way, way better. And so it's safe for you to trust that if you do those scary things that don't make any sense at all, it's not going to get worse, it's going to get better. I'm willing to put myself on camera live with you today and say that to you because I believe it so deeply that I know it's true. But I also know that to get there, to where the universe has got your back, you've got to do those intuitive hits even when they're terrifying. Even when it's like, well, yes, but not that one, okay? Yeah, but that, I would have to go do that thing then. And that feels really uncomfortable and it feels scary. So give me something else where it's not quite as scary. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, universe. I am. Give me the thing that's not as scary. So this is all about recognizing we've been controlling, we've been holding on tight, and we're going to make the choice now to relax our hold and our grip and just go on this new journey of trust and your soul mission. If you want to be on your soul mission, on your life path, it's trust. That's what it is. That's the journey. It's how many times can you trust in a day, in a week? When your intuitive hit is, I really need a nap. Or it's beautiful outside today. What if I took off my feet and walked barefoot, or took off my shoes and walked barefoot in the grass? But you say, oh, I have to make dinner. Oh, the kids need this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And all the reasons why you can't or why it's not safe for you to do that come in. You don't take that intuitive hit. It's not always about creating. Sometimes those intuitive hits are about you need to receive right now. But you're so busy creating, you say, well, no, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow, I have a babysitter for the kids, so I'll do it tomorrow. So how many times during the day can you trust the universe? Can you trust those intuitive hits? It's not like once every 3 months with a big decision. It's every day with the little decisions. I don't get it right every day. Sometimes I say, but I can't. And that's okay. When I do that, I'm taking myself out of alignment. That's okay too. I'm starting to recognize it more and more. The more you follow the intuitive hits, big and little, the more you're going to bring yourself back into alignment. And the more you'll start to feel, oh, maybe I should have just thrown caution to the wind, thrown my shoes away, and went outside for 10 minutes for a walk barefoot in the grass. Listen, we don't have to be perfect. That's really important. We're worthy exactly as we are. You are worthy right now, today, exactly as you are, even if you've never followed an intuitive hit in your entire life. Well, actually, you have, because you're here with me today. So you certainly are following some intuitive hits. But you are worthy exactly as you are. You are ready to start creating pathways to wealth coming into your life exactly as you are right now, today. You do not need anything else. You do not need more training. Most of you, so many of you I've worked with, other ones I can feel you, most of you have been on this journey, this spiritual journey for years. And whether it was books or live classes or mentors that you spoke to face, you have been investing in your spiritual journey, even if it wasn't with money, even if it was only with time, for years, which makes you a wealth of knowledge, which makes you so much further ahead of all the people that are at the beginning of their journey. Like, I do not attract to me people that are at the beginning of their journey, because people at the beginning of their journey are not ready for what I have to bring forward. Okay, you have to go out there and try that law of attraction stuff first and find out that that's actually not bringing you that inner peace that you were hoping it would, right? But there's people at every step on their journey, and you are ahead of an awful lot of them. I know you are, because that's why you're here with me, okay? So you are ready right now, exactly as you are, without another course on how to have more inner peace or whatever. You have accomplished amazing things on your life path already. So you are ready to do the things that feel terrifying and that light other people up, that give other people hope, that show other people that, yeah, more is possible, that you do not have to live a life of misery and drudgery. Like, you are ready today to share that. You are ready today to activate the light within you and choose to hold a higher dimensional space for others, however that looks. So that is the truth. So this is going so much longer than I thought it would, but it's been incredible. Thank you guys for like staying with me. Thank you. So grateful to you. So again, there's more money codes are coming through, and I will share with you guys when the date and time is appropriate in divine timing. The beautiful thing about how I channel through information is it strips years of seeking off of your life purpose journey, right? Because what I'm doing is sometimes I'm bringing forth things that I have never heard before, like today, about the balance between creating and receiving and how that's the path to money. And when you choose to activate your life purpose, you become this beacon of light who's doing that for others as well. How beautiful is that? This is what the new earth is about. It's about us empowering and lifting each other up. It's about us trusting those crazy intuitive hits that don't make any sense and choosing to decide from a different space than we have decided from in the past. So for those of you who would love to continue the journey with me, Quantum Money Business Blueprint is enrolling through June 1st. This is all about fully activating your life purpose, okay? It is all about whether you are on the path of just deciding to start building a business, or if you're already at 10K months. Either way, this is the perfect space for you, and I'll tell you why. Because these are all the things I had to learn after I was at 10K months that I didn't learn on my path to it. And then I had to fix it all. I had to rearrange my entire business to be soul aligned, to be my deepest truth, because I built the business in so many ways following those step-by-step methods of we talked about earlier, right? I did this A to Z. They're trying to describe their intuitive hits, but that's not how it works. We all get our own individual intuitive hits. So this Quantum Money Business Blueprint is building a business that generates cash money while you're sleeping, while you're in receiver mode, that is based on your own intuitive hits, your own soul blueprint, and what really wants to flow through you. Okay? So, in many ways, it is the keys to freedom within your business. Because there's a lot of us, myself included, that started business based on our soul and what we wanted to bring through. But somewhere or another got caught in the space of being stuck in this thing that didn't feel authentic and soul aligned anymore. This is the keys to skipping all of this. I could have saved myself easily $100,000 in courses and products if I had this when I started my business. So this is a simple investment in saving yourself years of trial and error and figuring it out and finding out how to bring forward the business that is most soul aligned with you, that gives you those feelings every day of being lit up and not being burned out and overwhelmed and not being jealous of all the people that are further ahead of you. That was me for a while too. I was so jealous of everybody else who had figured it out. And I said, well, I'm trying. What am I doing wrong? So that's why I created Quantum Money Business Blueprint, to give you the keys to building a soul-aligned business that lights you up from the inside. So if you are interested in that, I'm going to drop the link here. Okay, so that's it. I'm also sending out the replay of this, and you'll get the link in there. If you have any questions about it, definitely ask me. But there are 2 payment options. The second, and there's also payment plans available. The second payment option includes, the first payment option is self-study, where you just get the course. The second option, you actually get live group calls with me every Sunday morning, usually at the same time as this call. And these live group calls, you get to come on and talk with me back and forth directly. You can use video, or you can keep the video off and just use your sound, whichever makes you feel more comfortable. And we are going to talk about your ideas, and we are going to channel through exactly the clarity you need to move forward quickly, because that's one of the biggest issues when we're starting a business, is we have these ideas, but we're not clear on exactly what to do. So that's what this space is. This is really like an incredible value for the one-on-one that we're going to do together to get you clarity every single week for 8 weeks, so that you can build through this quickly and easily. When you have the perspective of someone who's already doing it, to see what your ideas are, or what's not working, or I'm not sure about this, we can move through these things in 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not joking. I do it all the time with clients. It blows my mind every single time what we move through and how fast we move through it, because I've already done it. And not only that, I'm a direct channel. So between those 2 things, it's like lightning speed we take you to. So highly recommend the first version of Quantum Money Business Blueprint was amazing, incredible. This version's so much bigger, so much better. I can't wait. We're also doing energy healing on those live calls every week. Energy healing around money and business to help calibrate you higher so that this all happens with ease and flow. Okay, now, you guys were so amazing. You sent in questions for I am around money. We cannot do all of them. We're going to do just a couple because we've already gone so long. And I can hear my kids running around out there. Phil's out there with them, but we're gonna wrap it up pretty quickly. Thank you guys for being here with me. Jody is in. I'm so excited, so excited. I cannot wait to do this with you guys. Those of you who feel called, and if you're wondering, like, how do I make this decision, right? Just get quiet with yourself and ask yourself, is this an expansive decision? Is this what I'm being called to do? Or am I wanting to say no out of fear? Out of, I don't know if I'm good enough. So whenever we're making a decision, we always want to try to pick the decision that's based on limitless possibilities and try to move away from the decisions that are based on, I don't know if I'm good enough, I'm afraid, right? So the more that we can start making all of our decisions from, I believe somewhere within me that the universe will support me, then the quicker and higher we're going to move. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I will absolutely share the notes as a PDF. That's a great idea. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here with me. This was such a blast. I love doing these master classes. This is so much fun. Okay. So, well, questions for I am. The first one is, how do I make a difficult choice? That's the answer right there. You literally take it and say, is this expansive? Is this, even if it's scary, it might be a scary choice, but is it based on limitless possibilities? Is it based on the universe supporting me? Or is it based on, I'm afraid the universe is going to let me down, right? Now, sometimes this choice of, I'm afraid the universe will let me down is also the easier one to make, right? Because you get to stay comfortable. You don't have to expand and grow into your next level self. So that's what you look at. Is it comfortable? Does it feel sort of safe? But also, I'm going to stay kind of where I am right now. And am I really that satisfied with where I am right now? Or am I expanding? So that works for any and all decisions about anything. Okay, so why do I have no money? Well, money is literally just a form of energy. So when we are experiencing no money, it's an energy blockage, and it's also a belief in ourself that we are not worthy of money. So that question is very much, I believe that I lack. And so when we recognize that, we want to start choosing a new intention, mantra, affirmation. Every time we hear ourselves say, why don't I have more money? I'm worried I don't have enough money. Awareness. When we have awareness, I trust the money's coming. I trust the money's coming. It's okay if you hear that, why don't I have more money? I'm worried about money. I need money. It's actually awesome if you notice that thought running in your head. It means you're moving out of autopilot mode into awareness. And once we move into awareness, we can change everything. I trust the money's coming. So you speak to that thought with kindness, not with like, oh, you're so stupid. Why won't you shut up and leave me alone? I'm tired of worrying about money. That's how most of us talk to ourselves. But if we can say, okay, I hear you, that you're worried about money. You're literally talking to your subconscious mind, your persona. I hear you that you're worried about money. Thanks for letting me know. I am now choosing to trust that the money is coming. Every time we gain awareness, stop, pause, have a kind conversation with that scared part of you. Okay. Is it possible to receive large sums of money from a totally different source than we send energy to? As an example, you do this free masterclass. Could you receive a big chunk of money from a person, company, or somewhere else that didn't attend your energy work? Yes, this happens all the time, all the time. When we are open to receiving, it's going to come in, and that's it. When we're in balance, the money is going to come. It's going to come. And just because it didn't come in the way that you thought you created, that's okay. You were supposed to create that path. That's something you created in the me unity consciousness. I'm creating this for whoever is ready to experience it. And even if the money doesn't come in that way, that doesn't mean anything. The money is going to come somehow because you did your creation. So yeah, that happens all the time. Like right now, I'm doing a free masterclass, right? Now I could, we just got a check for $2,500 from this old thing like we didn't even know existed that came in the mail yesterday, right? And that's a path where exactly, I didn't think, yeah, amazing. I didn't expect it. I didn't, but I trust that because I followed my guidance to message you guys and let you know, hey, Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be here. You want to come hang out and talk about money with me? That, yeah, money started to come. And that's totally safe. It doesn't mean, by the way, that the thing you created isn't good enough or not right. It just means you created it, and maybe there's some lag time between the money coming and the time you created it. Because when you create something new, there's going to be that lag time for the manifestation where you have to hold on and wait and continue to trust because your old creation of not having enough is still at play. So we often give up right before we hit the gold. It's like, oh, this didn't work right away. Well, yeah, your old manifestation is still what's being projected. We got to give it a little bit of time for the new manifestation to lock in and begin to project. So that's a big thing too, that can really help with the mentorship doing Quantum Money Business Blueprint, is I can help hold you through that original like fear of, oh, it's not dropping. I created this thing today. I thought the money was going to show up today. It's no, we got a little bit of lag time. Let's work on knowing that that's safe. That's actually normal and to be expected. So, okay, the last one is and I'm sorry I can't do all of them, but the really cool thing is Phil and I decided last night, and I'm so excited about this. We are going to start doing a weekly live on YouTube every Friday night where I want you guys to send me questions. I'm going to start with the ones I didn't get to today. I have lots of questions people have sent in over the years, but send me your questions. I'm going to set up something so people can just like come to my website and there'll be a question box. You can send me questions. And what we're going to do is live every Friday night for an hour and a half. Phil's going to read out the questions. I'm going to be fully I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to answer them. It's going to be incredible. So I'm so excited about that. It's going to start next Friday. So you're all invited. I think it's going to be 7:30 Central. So like, oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. So the last question is, I would like to know why I always have credit card debt. It doesn't matter what my income is. I always have credit card debt. I'll pay it off and then rack it back up. How can I stop this cycle once and for all? Okay, amazing. Number one thing is we have to recognize that credit card debt isn't good or bad, and it isn't a shameful experience. Even though programming around credit card debt is so much shame, right? Something wrong with you, you're not good enough. Fact of the matter is there isn't enough money that has been created on earth to hold every human on earth. We do not have enough money created, literally. So there are going to be humans that are in credit card debt under our current system of money, which is changing and evolving as these new energies come in and all of the earth evolves. All of humanity is evolving as well. We are still in this system right now, which is a debt system. We are not in a wealth system. We are in a debt system. So there's no shame around credit card debt. However, there's deep, deep programming in our society that there should be. There's also programming all of our energy fields until we really start cleaning and clearing them, have programming from past lifetimes. In past lifetimes, are you aware that often people went to prison for debt? Debtors, prisons. Okay. Often people were hung, killed for debt. And that's running in our energy fields today, completely under the surface, most of us completely unaware of it. So when you are in a cycle of credit card debt here today, and you are aware of it, and you're saying, I don't want to experience this anymore, because the truth of the matter is most people with credit card debt ignore it. Ignore the bill collectors. It's too painful to think about, and so they put the TV on, right? So they don't have to think about it. They drink, they too much, right? Whatever to numb the pain of experiencing the credit card debt. But when you have awareness and say, I want out, I no longer want to numb the pain of experiencing it, I want out. That's incredible. Celebrate yourself, like, woohoo, amazing. Because what you're going to be doing is healing the past lives, the generational pain from your ancestors around debt. If you choose to embark on the path of healing it for yourself, everyone heals, and not just those connected to you. We are all one. And so you begin to heal humanity. So every single person that is experiencing this toxic cycle of credit card debt that feels like this huge lead weight on their chest, and that's the one thing that's keeping them up at night, has the opportunity to heal humanity around debt. Okay, so I want you to flip the way you're looking at it. It's not a shameful thing. It's something that is a gift within you that you can choose to activate and flip for yourself, and also flip for humanity. Because when you flip things within you energetically and within your mind and beliefs, all of humanity rises up. Okay, so that's the first step. Start looking at it as this is an opportunity to heal myself, heal my past lives, heal everything. Now, beyond that, that's the first thing, is really taking that on into your heart. It doesn't even make sense to give the next steps, because that's something you have to sit with. That's something you have to sit with. Maybe we'll do a whole YouTube live around this, because it's such a big thing. But when we are taking next action steps, it's not about here's the A to Z method laid out in advance, do all these things. It's about what's the one actionable step right now that's going to take me to the next level where I'm ready to receive it. Because if I give you the next step right now, you're going to roll your eyes at me and say, hell no, that's impossible. We've got to take on energetically one step at a time, one hit of intuitive guidance at a time. We have to start choosing to live that way. And that's when we choose and activate the magic within us. When it's safe to not know the step-by-step path in advance, when it's safe to say, it's safe for me to work on choosing that this is a gift that I'm going to give to myself, past generations, future generations of my lineage, of all my past lives, of humanity. Okay, whatever is the thing that's keeping you up at night, whether it's credit card debt or something completely unrelated, that's the thing that you are here to heal. I've just got chills running up and down and all around. It's not bad, it's not wrong. None of you is bad and wrong. You are here to be the change maker. You are magic. You are magic. What an amazing note to end this on. I am definitely sending out the replay to all of you. Thank you for spending my birthday with me. This has been the most magical birthday ever. And for those of you who are joining me in Quantum Money Business Blueprint, I'm so excited. Also, if you have questions about Quantum Money Business Blueprint, send them my way. I'm so excited to talk to you. So much love to you. Goodbye, goodbye, and thank you for the happy birthdays. You guys are awesome. I love you.